Algebra 1.7, we're dealing with tables and graphs. So basically, we're going to be dealing with line graphs and bar graphs in particular, which some of you guys have already had experience on, so it wouldn't be too difficult. It does take some time. Please pay attention to the details that I put in the graphs, because I need you to make sure that you label everything correctly so that I can read your graphs easily in class. Now the first question is asking, the data in the table represents the number of people over the age of 65 in the US in millions. So that means these numbers right here represent a number, but then in millions. So 17.4 million, 21.4 million, doesn't understand. And this is the year, okay? 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then 2000s, right? So what I need to start with is I need to label first and foremost when I want to draw a line graph. I'm going to put a title that says 65 and over in the US. This allows me to know what I'm doing. The bottom is your things is a number that never changes. It's your output kind of. And the top is the thing that does change. What I mean is a year, the years never change. So I'm going to put the years down here. So I'm going to label this year and label this amount and then put in millions, because we will need to understand that it's not just a number, but it's in millions. So let's start here. Well, let's start here with 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, and 2000. Now I have to sort of take this and find the lowest and the highest number and try to find a way to evenly arrange them. So it seems like 17.4 and is my smallest and 39 is my biggest. So let's start with maybe 15 and go by 5. So 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and then 40s over here. So it's not going to be exact, but if you use a bar graph, a graph paper in class, it's going to be more exact, and that's what I'm going to expect you to do. But don't worry, I have graph paper for you. I'm going to go ahead and put this here so that you know that that's the title. So from there, now I can graph, because I've labeled everything, I've evened things amount, I know this is year, I put this in millions, now I can graph from there. Okay? So 1960 would be 17.4, so around here would be my first. Then 21.4, then 27 is over. Then 1990 is 34, and 2000 is 39. So as you can see, it's not a straight line, but there's a steady increase in the amount. Sorry, it's supposed to go this way. Okay, and I went a little over because I'm running out of space, which is fine, but this allows me to go ahead and show that as the years go on, okay, as the decades have gone on, the people of age 65 and over have been more and more, so people are living longer. That's what it's trying to show us. In the US, at least. It's not exactly correct for all of them. So bar graphs are very similar. Go ahead and pause this and write it down, and we're going to move into bar graphs. So the next one is we're going to use the same information, but this time we're going to do bar graphs. It's like super hot in here. Okay, so the same information, so we're going to label it exactly the same. This is people 65 plus in the US. Okay, I have my title. It's the same setup. I'm going to have years in here. in amount in millions. Or you can put people in millions. And then I have 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, and 2000. Okay, same setup here. I'm going to go 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I have more space here, so it shouldn't get into my into my title this time. So what we're going to do here is, instead of a dot, I'm going to draw a bar, hence the term bar graph. So 1960 is 17.4, so about there, and I'm going to fill that in. 1970 is 21.4. Color it in. 1980 is 27.8. And to make it, I can do this with a line graph, just to give the actual. The next one is 34.3. And the last one is 39. Okay, so both the bar graph and the line graph is helping us represent. And if we had another set, let's say the people living over the age of 85, then I'd do the same thing, except I have the bar right next to it. Okay, and there's different things that we can do. But for now, it's just the basics of a bar graph. Go ahead and pause and write this down, and before class, try page 45, number 3 to 5. Page 45, number 3 to 5, and I'll see you in class.